let's start working. We will be adding layers, different layers, different adjustment layers to this image to make the image pop and do the color correction. So first of all, we will come down here and use this button. You see it's like a half moon, or I don't know, a half black, half white cookie. You click on this, you will have a list of different adjustment layers, different adjustments that you can make to your image. And this is a very powerful panel in Photoshop. This is a very powerful menu because you can use this to do a lot of things in Photoshop. We will start, just not to confuse you. Let's get to it. So we will first of all select what is called a levels adjustment, and as you can see, it comes above what we have here, that is the image that we got open on this image. So here, what you see here in the levels properties, these things here, this little knot here is your black points in your image. This is your midtones, and this is your highlights, or if you want, this is your whites. So the fact is, the whites are not whites and the blacks are not blacks. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna use this levels adjustment layer to bring this back, to bring the black in and bring the whites in, or if you want to bring the highlights in and bring the darkness in. So let's get to it. So we will start by bringing the whites in. To do that, I just click on this, and as I move, look at that. Look at that. Isn't that cool? I take this image from this, just with this slider from this, and by moving this, I'm bringing back those highlights, or those whites in the image. We will stop here. We'll bring it here, so that we don't go too much. If you go too much, you see, you're completely blowing out the image. So let's stay here. And by the way, this is called a histogram in photography. In DSLR cameras and other modern cameras, you have this. This is called a histogram. That's a representation of your blacks, your midtones, and your whites in your image. And it also represents different colors. So that's why you see RGB here. This is red, green, and blue. Okay, we will not get into much details with this so that I don't confuse you. Okay, we moved this slider, we corrected the whites in the image. We will also just touch a little bit highlights, midtones, just to bring it a little bit here. Just touch it here. And remember one thing, what we're doing here with this image, the degree we're pushing this in or out will depend on the image you're working on. Some images you might see the histogram extending all the way to about here, or just be a little bit thinner. Remember that the way your image looks will affect the way you move those sliders, you work with it. Okay, but for the blacks, we're not gonna go a lot to the blacks, but we're gonna go a little bit here, just to bring in yeah, about here. I think it's okay. And look at that. We took the image from this to this. Cool, huh? Beautiful. Okay. Now that we've added this levels adjustment to this, we will now we will not touch the color immediately, but we will have another thing. We will go down here again to the adjustment layers button, and we will go for brightness and contrast. We will not add brightness to this image, because if you look at it, the image is already bright, it's already okay. What we will work on is we will just touch the contrast a little bit, and we will not go far, just, you know, to blow the image now, to make the image too dark, but we will just touch this a little bit, about, let's say about here. I think here it's okay. Okay, let's go about here. Okay, now that we've corrected the whites, we've corrected the light, we've corrected we brought some contrast into the image. Let me just, I'm pressing Alt and clicking on this. So in this image, we don't have any contrast. We don't have any difference between very little difference between the whites and the blacks. But by doing those adjustments, we can we were able to bring this the image to this level, you see. And as you can see, we took it from here, from this image, from this here to this. Okay, isn't that great? So now let's make the colors pop in this image. Well, I think you're gonna like this one. Okay, we're gonna go down here, and we're gonna click on vibrance. We're gonna click on vibrance, and you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna just push the vibrance. But before that, let me explain one thing. So the vibrance slider, what it does, it's that it will make colors that are not already saturated. It will saturate it. But those who are already, it will not touch it. On the contrary, the saturation slider, what it does is that it saturates the whole image. It increases the intensity of all those colors in the whole image. So we will first start with the vibrance and push it a little bit, just like this. Okay, we'll push it a little bit like this, just to bring in to make sure that some of the colors are a little bit saturated, but we will also touch the saturation and bring in a little bit more colors. Look at that. Look at that. I can push it all the way here, and you see the image will look false, right? But we will just touch it to such an extent that we have beautiful colors. And in this, okay, I think about 22. It's okay. It's all right. I think we have a beautiful image here. So to check out what we did, you can hold Alt and press on the last layer on your image. Okay, click this. We took the image from here to here, from here to here. Isn't that beautiful? Simple adjustments, not complicated. You open your image. If your image do not have the punch, the pop that it needs, you just use a few adjustments and you bring that. But let me point out one thing. If, for example, if your image is kind of oversaturated or lots of highlights and so on, you might use those adjustments or different ones to do the contrary of what we did here, and you will see that the image will really pop up, and you will have those beautiful and fine details in your images. And you know, the good thing is that we did that all through layers, using layers in Photoshop. So look at that. I can put those off just using this little eye icon. You can double the visibility of any layer. Okay, so just by adding 3 layers, I could create this stunning image. So first of all, we added layers panel, a layers adjustment to control the light and the whites, the blacks, and so on. We added this to control what we call the contrast in the image, and we added another vibrance adjustment to control the colors, so to make the colors pop, to bring them out a little bit, and all that we were able to do that through layers, guys. That's cool. Hey, by the way, those adjustments do not apply only to landscape photos. You can apply this to portraits also. I've got this image open, and look at this. Let's say I've got this image, and you see the image, the lighting is not good, the colors do not pop, and so on and so forth. So we can do the same thing here. Let's go. We go down here. Let's add the levels. Look at the light. You see, look where the whites are, so far away. So we can move this in. Let's move the midtones, move the whites a little bit. We gotta work on that in a minute. Don't worry about how bright it is, we'll correct that. Then we can move this. You see, I can control the levels of gray in the image, or I can just push this somewhere about here. For the blacks, just add a little and just touch this a little bit. Okay, we're good with this. Let's now let's add some contrast to the image. If you don't have contrast in it, you can leave it. Let's add some contrast here. Okay, let's reduce the brightness just a touch. Maybe about here. Okay, about here it's okay. We can reduce this and then just hue and saturation. Or let's stay with vibrance and let's do this. And let's just saturate to bring out her skin color a little bit more. That's about here. Okay, fine, look at that. We took the image from here. So just a minute. Okay, I'm holding Alt on my keyboard and pressing this I. Okay, from this, I brought the image to this. Now I believe that you know how to do that. All right.